Hello, everyone on Facebook Live and on YouTube.com, KEVOLE, SoundCloud.com, KEVOLE, Spreaker.com, KEVOLE, and YouTube, Kevin Olenek. You can also follow me on Twitter, KEVOLE, and as well on Instagram, KEVOLE as well. I'm going to be doing this every Sunday, just kind of doing a recap of the podcast that we've done and what's coming up with the podcast this week. So this is a kind of a promotional thing, and I have a couple of other ideas I wanted to share with you as well as we are chatting. Hope you're having a great weekend. So I just want to first of all say thank you to David Kahn, Barb Silva, and Nikki Colby for on Wednesday. Very last minute, like pretty much. It was Tuesday when I saw the conversation going on Twitter about Bill 24. I felt it was really important to have a conversation about the podcast and Bill 24. So that's going on in Alberta about gay straight alliances. So we had that conversation. Really great conversation. If you haven't checked it out, check that out on the podcast. But super thank you to all three of them. It was very last minute that we got that together. And it was a late Wednesday that we did it. David found a private spot in a Wi-Fi place, and Barb was had some things with her children. She came back home last minute, and Nikki had some stuff going on too. So they took some time out of their schedule. So I just want to say thank you so much for doing that. It was super awesome of you. So applause to that. So check that podcast out. It was a great conversation. Wednesday, still relevant because we haven't had a decision on that yet. That hasn't been voted, but there was a big rally in Alberta today, I think in Calgary, and it may be in Edmonton as well. So still a very important topic that needs to be talked about. So make sure you check that out. And I think if you're debating people on some of the issues, that podcast is a great help for it because we went pretty in depth on it. We talked about the politics of it, so it was a very good hour-long conversation. So check that out. Share it with your friends and family or any questions. And there were some really good people to have a good perspective. Also want to thank Melody Owen and B. Capitan for hanging out with me at Tim Hortons in Canada Place on Friday. There was another I Love You Vancouver but Had to Leave You letter written in the Tyee from a lady named Jessica Barrett, and we talked about that, and we talked about sort of what makes people do well in Vancouver and why there's struggles. And I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into that because I feel like there's some of the same old conversation going on around this topic in Vancouver. So we dug deeper on that, and I wanted to check that out as well. It was a great podcast that just gave some perspectives on some of the challenges, some of the why some are successful, why some people are finding it hard, and some of the other things that are going on here that goes far beyond the issue of can you afford to live here, which is a big problem, of course. Nobody's disputing that, but we dig deeper on that. So, and something we'll talk about came out of that too. That's what I love about doing these podcasts is when we have a topic of a discussion and then we dig out and then another topic comes out and one came out. So that's going to be awesome. This week on the podcast, we have 3 tentative shows, 2 for sure, 1 tentative. We have Deirdre Sirianni. She is the host of a podcast called Human Unleashed. Very passionate about getting your life straight and making sure that you're living to your highest ability. That's probably the best way I can describe her. She's a very awesome human being that I met, and we've been wanting to do something in podcast together. And I love the fact that I get to work with another person that does a podcast. So that's creating podcast relationships, which is awesome because it's very tough in Canada to do that. And I'd rather collaborate than bash down. That's my idea. And so she's going to come on. She's very focused on small businesses and business. And we're doing a series on entrepreneurs and getting that together. and how to be a successful entrepreneur. And she will be great because she's got a lot of ideas. She does a lot of mentoring. She's got some great perspective. So I'm looking forward to conversing with her on that. We're going to be recording that Tuesday afternoon. The other plan on Tuesday afternoon, the other thing that we will be recording is there has been a lot of conversation. Of course, we've seen it all over the place. Louis C.K., Kevin Spacey, Jeffrey Tambor, Brett Radner, George Takei, a number of names that continue to come out about revelations of sexual abuse of some kind. And it's also affected the Vancouver film industry. There was a town hall here very recently for women only about this issue and a number of those things. So we're going to talk about some of the things that are going on in the Vancouver film industry. We have a couple of guests coming on that are actors in this industry. So some of the things that they have been experiencing, some of the things that they are concerned about, we're going to chat with that. It's Jennifer and Brooke will be on. We've been on before. Jennifer joins me to do the Riverdale review. We haven't done Riverdale in a while. I'm sorry. It's been a very busy time trying to plan things and get things together. But we'll be back at that for sure soon because I love working with Jennifer. She's very fun and she's got a great voice and we get along. And yeah. Sorry, that was anyway. So we're going to talk about that issue. And then on planning later on this week, probably this weekend, we are going to be finishing or putting the final touches on our conversation around Me Too. This portion of it, it's a continuing conversation that we have to continue to talk about. But if you remember, we did part one with Jen and Callie and Alexis. We talked with women. And then we had a conversation with men, with Curtis and T. We had that conversation. You can check those out on Spreaker.com, KVOLE as well. And two great conversations. I wanted to bring everybody together and converse and step forward. There's been a lot that we have to talk about still. There was also a Me Too rally that happened last week. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And we've got some other things we want to talk about as well. So we're looking forward to that. And also, so we've got those three coming up. We are planning next week also to review Justice League. Mitch has agreed. I'm going to ask someone else to join. So we're going to review Justice League. I'm almost finished Stranger Things. And both seasons, I have a couple more episodes to watch. So I want to review that as well. Because everybody's been into that, so check that. We're going to review that. I have someone in mind, a couple people in mind. And we're also going to be getting back to the Saturday stories. We've done a couple of these, but that also slipped back a little bit just because of schedule. But I have a couple people in mind that we'll be talking to, so we're going to be promoting that. The Saturday stories is basically talking to people and where they're at and what has more that have achieved some success and kind of hear their stories of what they've gone through to get where they are. And we can learn something from them as they've gone through and kind of recognize them for what they've done, because that's something that I feel that we need to do more of, is recognize what we are all doing very well. So that's a lot that's going on. We'll be doing a Facebook Live. I'll do another Facebook Live on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday is the schedule. And got some things we always got to talk about because there's lots of stuff going on. They will be probably, Monday will be in the evening. Wednesday, Thursday will be later in the evening as well, probably around 7 o'clock Pacific time, 7:30 Pacific time. And yeah, so also one of the other things that I've been working on and kind of just want to toss this out here. I'm going to toss this into the wind, see what you think. And I've been seeing a lot of you that are doing a number of different things in terms of like getting your business together and getting ideas, or you're doing a little bit of side hustle. Maybe you have a full-time job and you're doing your side hustle, whatever it is, trying to make bucks, or you're starting a small business, or you have a project or something that you want to promote, but it's hard to get out there. I actually want to try to help you out if I can. And it's the idea of kind of what I've come up with is sort of, if you have that, I would love to do some sort of brief commercial. I could voice it for you. We could work about what you want to talk about. And we're going to see how this works. It's kind of an experimental thing because I don't know how it would work necessarily, or if it would work. I tend to work by doing things and then building it from it. Oh, this is how it works, and this is what's not, and then I build from that. That's how I work. Uh, so if that's something that interests you, there's a couple of people I'm going to be starting to approach. But if that's something that interests you, would love to do that. Or even you have a story or something that you're doing as an event in Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, wherever. Let me know. We'll do a podcast on it and we'll get some information on it because I want to try to help you get your stuff out because what you're doing is important and every little bit that we can promote that is great. So, yeah, let me know about that. So thanks for listening again and watching again on Facebook Live, youtube.com, Kevin Olenek, soundcloud.com, KVOLE, Spreaker.com, KVOLE. Follow me on Twitter, KVOLE, and Instagram, KVOLE. I'm just going to mention this again. This is completely a non-pressured thing, and but I'm just going to mention this. I did set up a Patreon account, so it's patreon.com, KVOLE. There's no pressure, but if you want to feel it, you want to give a little bit to what we're trying to do here. It does take a lot of work to get people together, work out schedules, plan things, travel. There's a monthly fee to host a podcast, get all of this together, get appropriate equipment, editing, things like that. If you feel inclined, that's great. But absolutely no pressure. Feels awkward. I'm struggling with the idea of asking for money. I'm not really asking. Never mind. But that's there for you as well. But anyway, I hope you're doing really well. And we will be talking to you all very soon on social media or some other way. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Happy rest of the week. Have a great day. Bye for now.